And the Street Fighters are in place and ready to do battle. Welcome along then from Baku for round 4 of this Formula One World Championship. In 2018, it is the second Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it looks peaceful and it looks still out there, but it really isn't. In this city and this country of a population of 9.9 million, there's a wind blowing in from the north today, and it could wreak havoc on this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The second longest circuit on the calendar. Pirelli have brought 3 very soft compounds this weekend: the soft tyre, the super soft tyre and the ultra soft tyre. It's a very smooth surface, but we have seen significant graining. How long can that ultra soft tyre go into this race?
Pole position's the best thing you can do. It's the best way you can get off that grid. Ferrari are known for making great starts. Such a short dash to turn 1 though, so if you make a good start you can still kind of keep it. Hamilton will want to stick his nose in there, but the thing he must do is set himself up nicely, exit of turn 2 down to 3, because it's a nice run. But what you have got is you're going to be vulnerable at the end of the first lap if you can't pull that gap. Because of the way the wind's funneling down between the walls and between this city, it feels like a big headwind.
Ericsson, Van Dorn, Magnussen, Leclerc, Alonso, Sorokin and Stroll all on the super soft tyre, as are the top 5. Is the super soft tyre the best tyre, do you think, to be on at the start of this race?
Well, it's a tyre that's given them the best grip, it's given them good warm-up, but it's given them flexibility over the course of that. What you mustn't do is stop too early here, because you don't want to run out of tyres at the end of the Grand Prix. And when I say run out, if you get a safety car and the tyres cool down when you've lost that gauge on the compound, you can't kickstart them, you can't get them back up to the working range, and I think that's where teams are going to feel vulnerable. Raikkonen is going to pull the gun early. We saw a lot of grain and it came in on Friday, and when you've got to simulate following the dirty air in the wake of the car behind you as well, that's only going to exaggerate the problem. So they really are going to take it, but Ferrari don't have to react to that with Vettel, because obviously they can do a bit of team changing, but what Mercedes do, they need to take it, and I think Red Bull are going to play a game of that.
So, ignore the kettle for a while, stand by for action here. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the streets of Baku, the race that was won from pole in 2016, a race that was won from 10th on the grid last year and could just conjure up anything in the next 51 laps. Sebastian Vettel has been sat on that pole position for quite some time now, but he'll be glad to know that everyone is now in position and we're about ready. Hamilton facing towards the Ferrari, and it's lights out and away we go. Vettel and Hamilton both get away well, and Kimi Raikkonen too, pressurising Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1 as Vettel leads Hamilton, leads Bottas, Ricciardo, Verstappen running wide, Raikkonen then just behind him, and he might have a look into turn 2. So far all getting away cleanly, but then there's damage. There could have been a front wing, one of the Force Indias. There's contact down into turn 2, Paul.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's lost a front wing. You can see it looks like there's a lot of debris.
There's a lot of debris flying around, Paul. There's also a lot of sparks as well. Sorry, just to cut in there as Raikkonen and Ocon, and their collision. Ocon is out of the race. Kimi Raikkonen into Esteban Ocon down at turn 3.
Yeah, it's 2 ball. Raikkonen's lost a bit of his front wing as well. I'm not sure it's enough where they have to come to the pits, and you can see Sorokin's out of the race. He was obviously part of that, Crofty, like you were saying.
Sergei Sorokin, who started 11th, has a big puncture there, as we can see. Down the inside, Kimi Raikkonen, Ocon squeezed him, there was no room. Did Ocon know he was there? He certainly felt it when the Ferrari ran into him.
Yeah, Ocon knew he was there. He'd kind of blocked, he'd left the door open. I think with Ocon, you've got to give him a bit more space than that. Kimi's not going to back off right at the last minute, and you've got to let 2 cars get through.
That is Fernando Alonso. Ted's tip for this race. Alonso picking up a puncture there and running right down towards the rear of the field, as you can see. Romain Grosjean and Brendan Hartley behind him. Now, if Alonso can get back to the pits, that's a good thing, but what damage?
Fox, what a stupid guy. He closed me the door. You know, we were side by side, I don't understand.
So, Sebastian Vettel leads Lewis Hamilton, leads Valtteri Bottas. Mercedes were out, but none of them have stopped. Neither of them have stopped. Raikkonen's coming in for his pit stop, as you can see. They'll change the front wing and they'll give him some new tyres as well. I would imagine soft tyres going on. It is soft tyres going on, so they can, if they want to, run Kimi Raikkonen right to the end of the race. Let's go down to Sky Race Control and Anthony Davidson.
Yeah, guys, I was just watching the start, how it all happened. Basically, Sorokin went in hard into turn 2, ran into the back of the Force India, which pushed him into the Ferrari, Kimi Raikkonen, and then he got sandwiched in between the McLaren, just seeing coming into the pits now of Alonso and Hülkenberg on his right-hand side. It really wasn't Sirotkin's fault at that point, but he definitely missed his braking zone going into turn 2, and that caused the initial contact.
So there is that double puncture, as you said, for Fernando Alonso.
Okay, Fernando, we see some damage to the floor. We see some damage to the floor.
Unbelievable. You take care, corner 1, corner 2, and they crash into you. It's stupid.
Oh, what a very well-controlled, good move that was from Vettel. He has got the advantage out in front, and he's got a bit of distance between himself and Lewis Hamilton. Diving down the inside, Ricciardo fends off Max Verstappen, and behind those two comes the Renault of Carlos Sainz ahead of Pierre Gasly. Verstappen's looking down the inside. Ricciardo has to back off and let him through. Otherwise, those two are coming together. That's a brilliant move from Verstappen. Great respect for Ricciardo, but now Carlos Sainz is on Verstappen's tail, and Sainz has managed to get ahead of Verstappen, who's got the inside line going through into turn 3. Brilliant racing from all three drivers, as the Williams of Lance Stroll and Nico Hülkenberg are fighting it out as well.
Yeah, I'm not quite so sure that's going to go down too well on the Red Bull pit wall, given that you've lost out one place to the Renault getting in there, but a bold move by Verstappen.
Probably gained a bit, but not enough, because Carlos Sainz is now hot on his tail, and Verstappen trying to come back at him. Sainz slams the door shut. Verstappen might go down the inside to get that place back again, and he does so going into turn 1. 4th place for Verstappen, 5th place for Carlos Sainz. This will now carry on into turn 2 as Hülkenberg has a look at Gasly. Behind these two, Ricciardo kind of sandwiched in, watching his wing mirrors and looking ahead too.
Renault power versus Renault power, you can see the difference in the ultra soft. Carlos Sainz looking very racy. These two obviously teammates have got a bit of history.
And it means a lot to the Works team to be racing against Red Bull and to be pushing them and pressuring them all the way as well.
The Renault in the background, it's got the slipstream on Verstappen.
It has, and there's DRS enabled as well on this particular lap. We are on board with Carlos Sainz as Max Verstappen on the inside. This is a great blast towards turn 1 that Verstappen has won out once again. And Hülkenberg is gaining already on Daniel Ricciardo.
I think he might have him at the end of the straight. You can see there's a DRS open.
Well, let's see, because he's right on his tail. He's pulled out from behind the toe and behind the slipstream. Sainz has done the same on Verstappen. Sainz is ahead of Verstappen. Ricciardo stays ahead of Hülkenberg. Ricciardo almost going into the back of his teammate, and he just overcooks it a bit into turn 1. That gives Hülkenberg the jump and the move going into turn 2. So, Nico Hülkenberg now ahead of Daniel Ricciardo into 5th. Right, on board then with Nico Hülkenberg. Max Verstappen is soon going to be side by side and soon going to be eclipsed. We're 10 kilometres an hour faster, Nico Hülkenberg, as he made the move past the Red Bull. But the Red Bull now picks up a toe, and Verstappen can try and fight back. But Hülkenberg's got the inside line, and Hülkenberg just manages to stay ahead. And Hülkenberg is now up into 5th place. Renault running 4th and 5th.
Yeah, and at the back of that little queue, you've obviously got the Williams, you've got, I think it's a Sauber, you've got Raikkonen who's breathing down the neck.
Yeah, Charles Leclerc. Oh no!
I'm clipping like hell.
Hülkenberg's got a puncture.
Mode 7 is correct.
Has Hülkenberg been into a wall somewhere? It rather looks like he has. And at turn 4, Nico Hülkenberg has come a cropper, and at turn 5 he has had to pull over, and he is out of this race. That is a massive shame for Nico Hülkenberg after a great start to this race.
Oh, he's just locked the rears on the way in.
Okay.
It's game over, you've got to do it, he hits it pretty hard.
Max Verstappen struggling, Ricciardo's passing him, Sergei Sirotkin's passing Lance Stroll as well into turn 1, and the two Red Bulls might have touched there as well. Verstappen aggressively defending against his teammate. There's no team orders down at Red Bull today. Verstappen stays ahead.
I think team orders are going to come into this. It's a little bit too much, isn't it, these two touching. Danny Rick's eager. I think Max needs to let him go. They're going to cost themselves too much here.
Well, he's not letting him go this time. Ricciardo tried to pull alongside, Verstappen defended that one as well.
He wasn't involved in anything earlier, was he? And it seems to be just struggling for pace. But you're right, I think maybe that conditions the Hamilton comment about the tyre warm-up and the fact it is much cooler.
Hamilton's just missed turn 1. Hamilton's just missed turn 1 in the background.
We'll see that, I'm sure. as Sebastian Vettel makes his way
Sorry to
down
stand over Ted there.
No, that's fine, Paul. You spotted it. And there's Hamilton, a very long way back, and we can see exactly what you just saw with the naked eye.
I think that was Bottas you saw as well, Crofty. Oh no, he's managed to get round. It was him. That'll be a double flat
Something's
spot.
happened, I don't know what, man.
In theory,
Set
Paul,
of soft tyres going on as well.
in theory, Hamilton should be able to get in, there's Bottas going past, and get back out again in front of Max Verstappen, who's currently running in 4th place.
It's not going to be a good day at the office, and here's the battle of the Red Bulls again.
Ricciardo.
I think he's got it done this time, hasn't he? He's got to yield.
He's got to yield, but he didn't yield that much, and he's now going to come back, and Ricciardo again, he's going to throw down the inside. Max Verstappen, Ricciardo has to give him space, or not from the first time this afternoon. The two Red Bulls would have come together. They've hit each other once. They could have hit each other 3 times, quite frankly. Verstappen is in no mood whatsoever to yield to his teammate. Where Sebastian Vettel leads, and that gap between himself and Valtteri Bottas, 9.3 seconds. He's kept to the left, and he's gone into the pits.
Soft tyres, Crofty. Soft tyres been fitted, so they're just shadowing what Hamilton's done. I think that's definitely the best way to do it. Maybe feeling like Bottas was putting that charge in, they want to get in. Rear wheels on, drop it, and away they go. Very good pit stop.
And what is happening with Verstappen and Ricciardo? Was Ricciardo getting quicker? He is getting quicker. He's closing up on Verstappen. He's alongside Verstappen. Is he going to make the move stick this time around? He locks up, but he does make the corner. That's a super move once more from Daniel Ricciardo.
There's somebody coming in, Crofty.
Well, Ricciardo gets past and laps Pierre Gasly and then comes into the pits.
Ultra soft tyres, more importantly.
Thank you very much. That is Ricciardo having first choice, having preference, because he managed to pass his teammate just 3 laps ago. Bottas had just set the fastest lap of the race. Ultra soft tyres with a purple stripe going on to Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull. Hoping and praying for quite some time now. Brand new fresh set of tyres.
Ricciardo didn't have a great outlap though. It was a bit of warm up, but he should be okay. Here's Verstappen. Verstappen's managed to beat him.
He has.
By going that little bit longer.
The undercut became the overcut in terms of what works out well here. You were watching the timing screen, couldn't quite see down the main straight as to where Daniel Ricciardo was, and you're absolutely right, Paul, it wasn't the best of laps by Daniel Ricciardo.
He needs to keep him over the left.
But he's going to try and dive down the inside. They have crashed. They've gone into each other. Daniel Ricciardo late braking, couldn't stop in time. Max Verstappen was right in front of him. And the two Red Bulls who have been touching and barging and banging all afternoon have had one bang too many. And this is the replay of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo.
Bottas has won the Grand Prix.
Well, 2 seconds, Paul, we'll go to that in a moment, but look at the two Red Bulls here. Ricciardo wanted to go left, Verstappen blocked him off, thought about going right, put on the brakes as Vettel comes into the pits.
He was too committed, wasn't he, Danny Rick?
He was. Sebastian Vettel has pitted as well as Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. As we watch these replays, it's all happening in the pit lane as the safety car actually is taking the cars through the pit lane. So some might be stopping, some might not.
Oh, someone's crashed under the safety car.
It's the Haas. It's the Haas, and we're just looking at the moment to see who it is, and
Grosjean.
it is Grosjean. So Roman Grosjean, who was up into a brilliant position into 6th place, has now crashed behind the safety car. That's going to keep the safety car out for a lot longer.
No!
I'm sorry, yes. Roman Grosjean, for the 2nd time this season, big points available on Australia. His wheels fell off. He's weaving around, trying to get temperature into the tyres. And what's happened here, Paul?
Oh, he's just dropped it himself. Trying to get temperature.
We've seen drivers do this behind the safety car before, but...
What happened?
I think Ericsson hit us.
He's gone very early indeed. Has he caught them napping a little bit? Is it a double bluff?
Hamilton's going to get the toll.
Is it going to pay for him, or is it going to pay for Sebastian Vettel? Because look, on board with Lewis Hamilton now. He's catching up with the Ferrari as Bottas done his teammate a favour here. Vettel goes to block and now tries to gain on Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton's going to dive down the inside, Raikkonen as well. Sebastian Vettel goes down the inside and he locks up, and that's going to cost him 1 Valtteri Bottas leads from Hamilton. Raikkonen on the inside on Sebastian Vettel, and he picks up a place on his teammate as well. Oh, and there's a puncture for Valtteri Bottas.
He ran across some debris. He ran across debris that was on the track.
Hamilton takes the lead. Bottas in the lead has now got a puncture.
Perez.
Raikkonen ahead of Perez, ahead of Vettel, ahead then of Leclerc and Sainz and Alonso, and Stroll goes through as well.
Oh my God. It just blew up on its own. 12.
Lewis Hamilton is going to take the championship lead here in Azerbaijan on this Sunday evening. He takes the checker flag now to win in Baku. It is Hamilton ahead of Raikkonen, ahead of Sergio Perez, who picks up what at one stage was a very unlikely podium. Force India can celebrate that. They're back in business. Sebastian Vettel comes home in 4th place ahead of Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc does finish in the points for the first time ever.
Get in there, Lewis. Well done, mate. I think Lady Luck was on our side today. That's real bad luck for Valtteri, so yeah, heart goes out to him.
A little strong enough.